Welcome to Sandbox FOMO5 from Bureau Happold. Each week we pick short snippets from our most recent episode for your listening pleasure. These quick listens could be valuable insights, thought-provoking elements, or even practical advice that will no doubt enrich your life and knowledge. Sandbox brings together curious individuals interested in a specific topic to discuss, dissect, and interrogate it. The style is conversational, with experts from Bureau Happold and invited external guests who will add another angle to the narrative. Listeners are encouraged to gather around our podcast so that we can explore the latest advances in various fields and expand our collective horizons. Sometimes we'll tackle a subject head-on, sometimes a sideways view, but always with curiosity, expertise, and who knows, maybe even a dash of humour. Chris, how do our water and energy systems need to adapt?
Very good question, Andy. You've got two aspects to resilience. You've got the one side, which is how well the asset responds to stress. So if it's a pylon, how much wind will it take before it gets blown down? But then there's the other side, is what do you design it to? Now, the climate has undeniably changed in the UK in my time.
Yeah.
I went to school and we got -20 in the winter. You just don't get that now. And the summer breaks temperatures. And for example, for power, we talked about designing the overhead lines for a 1 in 20 wind. We now get a 1 in 20 storm almost every year. And water assets talk about a 1 in 100 flood event. We're getting year after year a 1 in 100 flood event. So one of the big questions for infrastructure in the UK, roads melting is a good example, rails buckling, is what do we design the infrastructure to going forward? Because the standards that we used in the past clearly are not applicable.
Yeah.
And with the environment changing, with more frequent storm events, with hotter events, clearly it's not just the existing assets, but any new assets that we put in, any new infrastructure, critical national infrastructure, we're going to have to think about what are we designing to, and that's going to have to be a harsher environment.
Paula, when we've chatted before, you emphasise the importance of balancing investment in new projects with maintaining and upgrading existing infrastructure to ensure resilience and continuity. You added that without tackling resilience first, progress on climate change cannot be made. Why is this, Paula?
They are interchangeable. So there's flooding, there's heat waves, there is carbon reduction efforts. That's why we're talking about this interdependency and this integration requirement, and the need for cross-sector collaboration to look at combined impact of these across our infrastructure. If we plan in isolation for each of these, we could be planning for the wrong level of impact, or we could be shooting ourselves in the foot where we take a measure of something that actually could be covered elsewhere, whether that's flooding or response to heat, whether it's coming up with new services for our roads to respond to one area than the other. So that integration piece is really important. There are several papers out there that describes why we need to be looking at resilience in order to actually align to the carbon trajectory. Part of resilience is ensuring that your asset is in a good state, so that when there is a flood risk or there is a unusual weather, they are actually able to function in the way that they are meant. Otherwise, they have damaging impacts on our progress towards carbon reduction. For example, flooding leading to loss of habitats, or inaction for nature loss solutions having a dramatic impact on species that we see in the UK, which in turn has an impact on climate. So they are completely intertwined, and in order for us to achieve good outcomes for our infrastructure, we do need to look at these interdependencies and collaborate cross sectors for those best results.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that quick dip into our last episode of Sandbox. Don't forget to subscribe to follow the show. You'll find Sandbox in all the usual places, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Bureau Happold's YouTube channel, and on the Bureau Happold website. What's more, if you want to join the conversation on X, known as Twitter to his old friends, use the hashtag BHSandbox. We'd love to hear from you on any of the topics discussed.